Okay. Today I want to talk about very interesting subject. At least for me. I know it will be for you if you can get there too. It's not an easy subject really, and it deals really like with the people we lost. Parents or whoever died. And like went to the other world. And it's about like, can they communicate to us? Can we communicate with them? And the answer is yes and no. The no is because we are blocked. Our brain is interfering with us all the time. It's all the time busy thinking about things or doing things or whatever, but we never really feel that inner being. The inner being we have is the one who has really the power to see these things, even like I talk about out of body experience and stuff like that. It's really because of that being, the real me, not the body. The body is really not me. This is the food I ate, the food I ate, and when I die, that came from earth, it will go back to earth, but me, no, I will still be there, exactly the same. I never age actually, or die, that being never dies or never ages, This why sometimes, even if you are in your 80s or 90s or whatever, the being inside is always young, I get really surprised and maybe shocked when I look at myself in the mirror. Oh, this is not me, I'm somebody different, young, so when I look at myself, oh, this is old, so, but that's really my body, what I'm looking at, but without the mirror, I am really the same, I'm maybe 20 years old or even 18 years old, So this is really the soul, that doesn't die and does not change, nothing make it really sad or whatever or angry, it's all of these things that we experience are the surface, they are caused by the mind, not by what's happening, by our interpretation of what's happening, The mind think, oh, there's this, there's that, she said this, he said that, I should say this, I should do that, It's always doing that, our mind, and I think this is really the problem with us, if we can still the mind, and of course stilling the body, when both are still, miracles can happen, So for my story, 30 years maybe after I buried my mother with my brother, actually we both carried her and put her in the grave, that was 30 years. Maybe I cried every time I remember her, for 20 years maybe, I kept crying, and at night, and when I'm on the pillow, I remember my mother. Of course, this was because my life was empty, kind of, But when I married, my wife, and I have 2 children from her, they kind of filled that gap. Filled that with love and stuff like that. So it made it a lot easier, really, passing of my mother, I still love her and everything, but I'm not crying every day for that, because I have other things that kids and I love and my wife, So one day I wanted to do a job interview. And for that interview, I had to put a suit and a tie for the interview. Now, I did have suit and a tie, but I never wear them, actually. I don't know even why I bought them. Maybe for a show. My wife at the time wanted me to do that, but I don't put suits, or anything all my life, T-shirt and jeans, So I do have it, but like I do have this, the suit, and it fits me because it was like I bought it long time ago, whatever, it fits me, everything, but like I don't know how to tie the tie. I never made a tie in my life, So my wife couldn't do it neither. She didn't know how to do that, And so we struggled with it, we struggled with it. It didn't work. So she told me, our neighbor, she is good with that. She can do that, but she's not home. Like we have to wait until she comes, So there was like maybe 2-3 hours. I forgot really like to the interview, or 4 hours really. The interview was, I remember, at 4 o'clock. It was at 4 o'clock. But like maybe we were like at 12, 1, something like that. So I laid down. I always meditated, by the way. I when I don't have anything to do or whatever, like I just like relax, lay down, and start meditating, and stilling the mind and stilling the body, and like I was really good at that, like because I had like past experiences, even out of body experience while doing that, so I can get into real deep states of relaxation, and I did. So I was laying, but not completely like flat on the bed, like my head is up like that, and doing that meditation, breathing in and out and in and out, and relaxing my body limb by limb, kind of, and suddenly my mother was next to me, next to the bed. I look at my mother, and she has a tie with her, so she told me, "Let me, Mom, show you how you tie your tie." So she held the tie, and by the way, she was smiling like with love, and when she said that, and she told me, "First you do this, and then you do this, and then you put it from here, and then you hold it from here, and then you pull it, and she did the perfect tie. I looked, then she disappeared, I was really shocked and surprised. She disappeared, like, so I called my wife at the time, "Give me the tie, give me the tie." So she came, running, I didn't know what's happening, why I'm screaming like that, and she said, "Saad, give me the tie." I took the tie from her, and did exactly like my mother showed me, like, and did that ting, 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 ting. And then I pulled it, and it was really the perfect tie. Now, I never did one in my life, and like, I don't know how it worked, So should I believe that this is a visitation or not? But there is instruction. She gave me actually instructions how to tie my tie.